Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to tell you guys my favorite books and a few honorable mentions. The books that weren't quite my top favorite, but I very much still loved and enjoyed and still would highly recommend for everyone to read. Alright, so I have four favorite books that I read in 2024 that I have right here. These books were just perfect. Obsessed with these books so much, and I will force somebody to read them. They're just that good that I can also just recite these books. They were just perfect. The first book being My Life with the Walter Boys. I love the show so much. I first watched the show and I loved the show so much that I wanted to read the book. So I watched the show, then got the book, and I was like, oh my gosh, obsessed, immediately obsessed. I read it in maybe February or March and just in love ever since. I have so many tabs in this book. The little small tabs, big tabs, just for different parts. There's one specific part, I don't even know, towards the end that I'm just with Cole. I don't know where it is, but page 200 something, I think. And the part with Cole I just love so much. This book is so good. It's a YA. Everything is so clean in it, so you are safe from the smut. This is just such an incredible book. It's so cute as well. But I cannot wait for the second one, just in general, but also to just know what happens, because the book leaves you with a cliffhanger. So I'm so excited, as well as the show. The show leaves you on a cliffhanger, but I'm so excited for the second one to just know everything. It comes out in, I think, April, so not too far away. It's all right, I can wait. I'm just super excited. It's a book about, her name is Jackie, and she lives in New York City. Her parents and sister, so her whole entire family, passed away together in a car accident. And Jackie was at, I'm trying to remember, I think she was at prom in this too, or some sort of school event, dance type of thing. In the show, it's her uncle, but in the book, it's her dad's best friend. So he shows up there and tells her, or is that in the show? Now I can't remember. Now that I'm talking about it, I can't remember. Either way, she finds out that her family passed away, so she has to move to Colorado with her mom's best friend. And she has many kids, and a lot of boys, one girl. So Jackie moves in there, and some of the boys are poop heads to her. But then there's a love triangle between Jackie, Cole, and Alex, which I am fully Team Cole all of the way. You can even see the difference. So there's Jackie, here's Cole, and there's Alex. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I was pointing at the right ones. It's just so good. I love love triangle books and shows. I think they're so good. Like, The Summer I Turned Pretty is my favorite ever. This is my second. Love triangles are so fun, but Cole's just perfect. I love him. It's such a good book. There are so many more Cole scenes in the book. This is pretty much a Team Cole girly book. All of the girlies that love Cole, this is for you. There's hardly any Alex scenes, thankfully. So good. Highly recommend the show and the book. What just happened to my voice? I don't know what that was. So good. All right, so this is the first book on my favorite list of 2024. The second favorite book that I read in 2024, I believe I read this in February, is 5 Feet Apart. This book is so amazing. I love these two. They're just so cute together. I tried reading this December of, 2023 and couldn't get into it. I was kind of confused. It seemed like a third person type of book, so I stopped reading it. But then in January, I believe, I watched the movie to have a better understanding of the book, and that helped me so much. Watching the movie and then reading the book was a very good idea for how my brain and reading process works. So after the movie, which was fantastic and beautiful, sad, all of the emotions. I read this and it was such an easy read. I read it so fast, well, fairly fast, and it was just so good. Stella and Will both have cystic fibrosis, so they can't be near each other unless they're masked up, and I think they have to wear gloves, but definitely like covering their face. They always have to be several feet apart, well, 6 feet I believe, but they break that rule and go 5 feet apart. Since they both have cystic fibrosis, CF, they can't be by each other obviously, but they slowly fall in love, kind of quickly fall in love at the same time. So it's a challenge to love each other so much and not be able to touch or anything. It's about their journey and being in love but not being able to touch each other or anything. It's just such an emotional book, but so good. There's pictures in here as well of like from the movie right in the middle, which is always kind of a fun and nice little touch. This book is so good. I highly recommend it. I love the book ending so much more than I do the movie ending. The movie ending is obviously good. It's just so devastating. I love the book ending so much more. I'll read you guys a little bit of the synopsis just so you can have a better understanding of this book, because it's so good, you guys. Stella Grant likes to be in control, even though her totally out of control lungs have sent her in and out of the hospital most of her life. At this point, what Stella needs to control most is her distance from anyone or anything that might pass along an infection and jeopardize the possibility of a lung transplant. 6 feet apart, no exceptions. The only thing Will Newman wants to be in control of is getting out of the hospital. He couldn't care less about his treatments or fancy new clinical trial. Will's exactly what Stella needs to stay away from. But suddenly, 6 feet apart doesn't feel like safety. It feels like punishment. What if they could steal back just a little bit of the space their broken lungs have stolen from them? Would 5 feet apart really be so dangerous if it stops their hearts from breaking too? I want to cry even just reading that. It's so emotional. I'm not a crier. The movie almost got me, and that's saying something because I just don't cry at anything, but the movie almost got me, and movies never almost get me. This story is just so beautiful. This book, I just love it. You have to read it. It's so wonderful. I suggest it to any and everyone. This is also YA and safe to read if you don't like smut. There's nothing. Will says a few like silly little jokes, that are a little spicy, but like nothing crazy or raunchy or disgusting or any adult scenes, if you will. Now next is book number 3 of my favorite books of 2024. Better Than the Movies, of course. If you are a reader, it's just unanimous. Everyone loves this book. This is on everyone's favorites. It's so cute. It's so good. I'm obsessed with this book. I'm obsessed with Wes. He's just so cutie. I love them together. Liz kind of drives me crazy a little bit sometimes, but just Wes is just, yeah. He's one of my book boyfriends. This book is so good. You have to read it if you never have. It's a YA book. Everything's clean in it. No raunch, no smut, no spice. It's so good. Oh my gosh. It's an enemies to lovers book, and they've lived next door to each other for pretty much their whole life, I believe. They've always despised each other, hated each other, and he's always messed with her. He always is doing something that irritates her, and in real life that would make me angry. I'd be like, dude, go away. What's your problem? But in a book, I'm like, I love it. But it's so cute. It's not the biggest slow burn either, which I appreciate because some slow burns are too slow burny. This is perfect. This is the perfect book. She has a crush on a boy that she's liked forever, and he comes back into town and Wes's her in because Wes and Michael are friends. So I don't know, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Please read this if you haven't, and if you have, it's obviously one of your favorite books, right? I'm pretty sure. All right, book number 3. Now book number 4 is like not only just one of my favorite reads of 2024, but one of my favorite, if not my favorite cover, is Picking Daisies on Sundays. This cover is so gorgeous. I love it. I feel like it's so me. Just the pink, the white. It's so cute. It's a matte cover as well, and it's so soft and beautiful. I love this book so much. A little bit of the storyline has kind of faded from my memory, but I still remember quite a bit of it. I just remember Daisy and Levi are the characters, and it's a fake dating. She goes to a bar. They haven't seen each other for 4 years, I want to say. Oh yeah, 4 years. And they see each other in a crowded bar. And I think it was him that asked her to be his fake girlfriend. I think it went that way. And so it's just that fake dating, but then all of the feelings start to come back. It's so good. I love this book. All 4 of these books would definitely be books that I would definitely reread, but just this one, I want to reread this one so badly, because it's just so amazing. The pages are so nice and so white. I love these pages so much. Ooh, look at my smile with the pages. This book, just mwah. Perfect. I love fake dating as well. Fake dating is so fun. Oh yeah, but she couldn't say no when he asked her to be his fake girlfriend for his sister's wedding. That's what it was. His sister's wedding. I couldn't remember what it was for. And she obviously can't say no because she loves him and always has. Even though they hadn't seen each other for 4 years, she's always been in love with him. This book is also YA and no smut. There's only one part that they both thought something in their head that was a little spicy, but it was just a thought, nothing, and it was like this much of, like, it was like a sentence. It wasn't anything crazy or detailed, if you will. It's so good. It's so good. I love this book, and I feel like this is a pretty underrated book. Not a lot of people have read this. I don't think I know anybody. None of my friends have read this. Nobody on my bookstagram has read this. So everyone, please read this book because it's so good. I love it. The book, or the pages, the cover, if I can think, the cover and back, they're just so cute, so beautiful. I love all of the little cute details, the little hearts right here and right here. So pretty. I love it. Now for the honorable mentions. My first book, honestly, it's like right in between my favorite book and honorable mention because I really loved this book so much. It's called It Was Always You. This book was so good. It's actually a series. I believe this is like the 4th book in the series, maybe. You don't have to read the entire series to understand the books though, thankfully. But now because of this book, I do want to read all of the others. I think it's about an 11 book series, so there are a lot in the series, but that's okay. It's worth it. I would imagine. I would hope so. I really want the first like 3 books now and see how those are, and then if I loved those just as much as I loved this book, I will definitely get the other ones. This book was so good. I think the only thing is why I put it in the honorable mentions is because his parents, his mom and dad both, irritated me so bad, and so I was angry at his parents. Maybe that's not fair. That's the reason I put it in my honorable mentions, but I don't know. I think it's fair. I think it's actually fair. This was such a cute book. It's fake dating as well. They fake date because she wants to make her crush jealous that she's in band with, and he just broke up with his girlfriend. That was so long. Yeah, I think his girlfriend broke up with him, so they just fake date to make, both of her crush and his ex jealous. She's 16. I think he's just like a year older. She's never been on a date. She's never had her first kiss. So all of this is new to her, and not only new, but also she doesn't want everything to be fake for her first dating, her first kiss. She doesn't want it to be fake. But then his mom's boyfriend gets in a fight with him and doesn't want him in the house. So then his mom tells him to leave the house and go to his dad's. And he doesn't like his dad because his dad left for another girl and has a new family and everything. So he just doesn't like his dad. Rightfully so. He had been sleeping in his car because he just didn't want to go over to his dad's. Or did he first go to his dad's? I'm trying to remember. Either way, his dad didn't want him to stay there either at his house. But he didn't tell his dad that he was kicked out of the house. So then he had been sleeping in his car in the freezing cold, like where he was trying to just even make it through the night because it was so cold. And she finds out and lets him stay in her bedroom in her closet. And her dad is so strict. So obviously that would not fly by. That I don't think that would fly with a lot of parents. Her dad being insanely strict. She is even scared to even talk to a boy because her dad just doesn't even like guys talking to her. So they both have to really hide it. Plus he's embarrassed and doesn't want anyone to find out at school that he's homeless right now. So it's a big ordeal, but it's so good. And also YA, super clean, only kisses in this book. This book is so good. Number 2 for my honorable mentions is The Summer I Fell for My Best Friend. This book is so cute. The only thing is that it's in my honorable mentions because the slow burn was too slow. Like it wasn't until like the last page really, until you got anything. So that's the only thing. It was just too much of a slow burn for me, but still so cute. I enjoyed reading this book so much. It was just a cutesy, super pretty young adult romance, super innocent, which obviously I do love the innocent romances, but it was almost maybe just on the brink of a little too innocent, if you will, you know? I think that makes sense, right? Like I don't want adult scenes, but I don't want like feeling like I'm reading about 12-year-olds or something. I think they're like 16, 17. A little bit of the synopsis is I plan to spend the summer before my senior year suntanning on the beaches of Portugal. Unfortunately, my parents have other ideas. They've sent me to work at the family hotel. Instead of lying on white sand beaches, I'll be trapped in the mountains. And then she thinks it's the worst punishment until she sees him. Noah Sawyer, tall, gorgeous, mysterious, and he's like the school's heartthrob. Everyone loves him. He's also her former best friend. They haven't talked since what happened 3 years ago, but fate has brought them back together. It might be the last summer we ever spend together. 3 years ago, I wanted to kiss him, but couldn't. This summer will be my last chance. It's so cute. It's such a cute little book. Here's the cover. I think the cover is really cute too. I definitely would read another one of her books because she has a lot of the Summer I books. The Summer I Fell for a Millionaire is another one, which I don't know. I kind of want to read that one too, but really cute book. I would recommend this. I would recommend all of these, obviously, though. Why did my voice get like that? Why does it keep getting all raspy and deep? What's happening? Okay, whoop. You guys are seeing it. The next book is With Love from London. So good. You guys know I love Sarah Gio's books. This book is so good. This is the first book that I read last year, so I don't remember all of it because I've read several books in between that and a year later. This book was so good. This is what kicked off my first year of reading, so this book also just has a special place in my heart. This is such a fantastic book though. This book is more just it's a mystery romance. I can't remember what it's called. Some of it takes place back in 40 years ago or something, but also current time, so I don't know what that's called. Not a contemporary, because contemporary is current, so it goes back and forth between years 40, 50 years ago or something and today. There's a lot of mystery, the romance. I think there's only one scene in this book that is an adult scene, but it's not raunchy and it gets pretty much to the point, you know, okay, yep, got it, thank you, and then she just moves on. Sarah always puts a scene or two in her books, but nothing where you're like, my eyes, gross. Nothing like that. It's like, okay, all right, and it's done. Like, so quick. I think the scene was only like literally one sentence, so nothing bad. You can definitely still read it if you like YA books because it wasn't anything disgusting. The synopsis is, when Valentina Baker was only 11 years old, her mother Eloise unexpectedly fled her native London, leaving Val and her father on their own in California. Now a librarian in her 30s, fresh out of a failed marriage and still at odds with her mother's abandonment, Val feels disenchanted with her life. And then her mom passed away and left her daughter everything that she had in London, where she fled to, like her bookshop and her house and everything. She opened it like 2 decades ago and her daughter never knew because her mom just up and left and never spoke to her again. Though the news is devastating, Val jumps at the chance for a new beginning and jets across the Atlantic, hoping to learn who her mother truly was while mourning the relationship they never had. As Val begins to piece together Eloise's life in the UK, she finds herself falling in love with the pastel-colored third-floor flat in the cozy, treasure-filled bookshop, soon realizing that her mother's life was much more complicated than she ever imagined. When Val stumbles across a series of intriguing notes left in a beloved old novel, she sets out to locate the book's mysterious former owner, though her efforts are challenged from the start, as is the book garden's future. In order to save the store from financial ruin and preserve her mother's legacy, she must rally its eccentric staff and journey deep into her mother's secrets. With Love from London is a story about healing, loss, and revealing the emotional, relatable truths about love, family, and forgiveness. So good, you guys. I would definitely recommend this book. It's emotional in so many different ways. So this book made me cry. This was the first book I've ever cried at. And again, like I said a few minutes ago, I'm not a crier. Nothing makes me cry, but this got me. And I'm just gonna say, I love Edward so much. So there we go. Next is Nothing Like the Movies. I was debating on whether I wanted to put this in my honorable mentions because I just didn't love this book, but I think I still liked it enough that I wanted to just go ahead and throw it in here. A very good book. I don't really have anything to say about this. It just I don't know. I don't know what it was about this book that I just didn't love as much as I did Better Than the Movies, because this is the second book if you're not familiar with the books, but there was just something that I didn't love about it, but I still liked it quite a bit. Just not as much as Better Than the Movies, like I said. It's a huge book. I think it's nearly 500 pages, like 490 pages or something, so it's basically a novel. Very good though, and obviously if you read Better Than the Movies, you have to read this book. I don't really know what else to say about this because I can't say anything if you've never read Better Than the Movies, because then that would kind of spoil this book, or not kind of, it just would. So I'm not going to say anything about this, but good enough book to still go in my honorable mentions. Alright besties, that's it for my favorite books of 2024 and my honorable mention books for 2024. Also, let me know what your favorite books of 2024 were and which ones I should buy and read, because I want to just get so many new books and read everyone else's favorites so I can tell you whether I agree or disagree. So tell me what your favorite books were, or even your honorable mentions as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to follow me on all of my social medias and my Bookstagram, they will be down in the description as always. And I will see and talk to you guys in the next video. Bye!